Hi folks, how you doing? It's James, JT at the movies, and I'm back with you for day 27, 3 days left now, of the 30-day movie challenge that I've been doing this July. And today's challenge, as you will have seen by the title card of this video, is my favourite superhero movie. So, I adore Batman Forever. I always have done. Ever since I was a little boy when I first saw it, this has always been my favourite of the original series. Now, I have two favourite superhero movies that I can't really choose between. There is this one, and then there is Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins. I think that, for me, they are just subjectively perfect. They're everything that I needed and wanted from a darker Batman film and then a more light and cartoony Batman film. I decided to go for this one because it was my first favourite Batman film, and it's one that I think gets a bit of a bum rap, and I thought, well, why not take the opportunity to defend it a little bit on the channel. The film is a follow-on from Batman Returns, but it has a new director in Joel Schumacher, and at the studio's insistence, he's made the tone a lot lighter and a lot sort of more like the 60s TV show, I would say. And, you know, there's a lot of neon and bright colour and things like that, and it is a real departure from where Tim Burton left things in Batman Returns. And whilst I adore Batman Returns and that film is superb, I'm also not offended by this. Like I say, I think it gets a bad rap, this film, but I think that's because it gets lumped in with the absolutely god-awful Batman and Robin that just has no defence whatsoever, because that film is a train wreck. But this, however, I think has some weak points, certainly. I'm looking at you, Bat Nipples. And, you know, there are some questionable sort of choices along the way with the story and with the direction, and, you know, the fact that Warner Brothers were so concerned about selling toys that they made sure that certain things happened in the film and all that sort of stuff. I feel that that's not what you need when you're trying to make a good film. But buried underneath all that, I think there is a good film there. I think Val Kilmer does a brilliant job replacing Michael Keaton as Batman. That was never an easy job. You know, he's essentially got the job that George Lazenby got, sort of, you know, coming after the guy that's sort of, you know, defined the role for a generation, sort of thing, and then make it your own. And like George Lazenby, he was a one and done, but I think he does really well with what he's given to work with. His Bruce Wayne, for me, is better than his Batman, but I think his Batman portrayal is perfectly acceptable. One thing I know that drew me to this film when I was a kid is the fact that Jim Carrey was cast as the Riddler. Growing up, and I still am, but was a huge fan of Jim Carrey, and the likes of Liar Liar, The Mask, Ace Ventura were films that I'd have on repeat when I was a kid, and that The Mask was and is one of my favourite films of all time. So knowing that he was going to be the Riddler, and my love for the animated series, and knowing all these characters really well as a little boy, that's what drew me into it as well. I have always enjoyed the character of Two-Face, again, from the animated cartoons as well, and I've always enjoyed Tommy Lee Jones's film as well, so that's something that I get out of this as well, because Tommy Lee Jones in anything is just superb. Robin's one of my favourite Batman characters as well. I love the Lauren Lester portrayal from the Batman the Animated Series, and I love reading the Robin comics and things like that. And my favourite iteration is the Dick Grayson version that grows up to be Nightwing. And so Chris O'Donnell's inclusion here was, you know, for a little boy, it was, oh, Robin's on the big screen. And, you know, even now, because I have such a fondness for that character, I enjoy watching it, you know, when I come back to it. And I'm really excited that James Gunn's going to bring Robin back into Batman when he makes the next live-action Batman film. I can't wait for that as a little aside. If anybody wasn't familiar with the plot of this film, I'll just give you a quick recap. It takes place sometime after Batman Returns in a fairly loose continuity. Two-Face has escaped from Arkham Asylum, causing havoc all around town, wanting to kill Batman. Meanwhile, Edward Nygma, who's a Wayne Tech employee, gives a business proposal to Bruce Wayne when he comes to visit the branch that they're working in, and Bruce politely rejects it, saying that it's going to raise more problems than it will solutions. And Nygma doesn't take this very well, so he decides that he's going to become the Riddler and basically strike out on his own as a rival of Bruce Wayne and market his product, which is the box, which is meant to beam satellite TV directly into the brain of the user, but it ends up being a mind-reading device, which, of course, as the Riddler, he uses to his advantage. Riddler and Two-Face end up teaming up and basically trying to take over Gotham. Along the way, Dick Grayson's introduced. His parents are killed by Two-Face at the circus, and Dick ends up living with Bruce and Alfred at Wayne Manor. Eventually, he becomes Robin and they team up, save the day, and it's your usual sort of superhero fare. I really, really, really love this film, and I'm not blind to its flaws. I'm really not. But I really don't think it's anywhere near as bad as anybody makes out to be. And I think it's just as rewatchable as the first two. Like I said, the less said about Batman and Robin, the better. But this one, I think, gets a bum rap. You'll have to let me know down below in the comments, what's your favourite superhero movie? And more importantly, what do you think of Batman Forever? Have I just had my sort of like movie credibility revoked by saying that I love this film? Hopefully not. But let me know down below in the comments what your thoughts are. If you've enjoyed the video, drop it that all-important thumbs up. It means the world to me when you do. And please subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. It helps the channel to grow, and it means that I get to know you over future videos as well. Above all else, folks, take care of yourselves, and I will see you tomorrow for Day 28's film.